Kelsey Mitchell makes feelings clear on playing with Clark and Aliyah Boston amidst free agency decision. The CBA situation has presented many uncertainties to the Indiana Fever front office, but they know one thing: re-sign Kelsey Mitchell. The priority will be Kelsey Mitchell and making sure she remains in a Fever jersey, Fever GM Amber Cox said. Luckily for the Fever, Clark and Aliyah Boston, the two other heads of their big three, are on their rookie contract, so it's only Mitchell to be worried about. And well, the way Mitchell has talked about their trio, the Fever fans should be optimistic. When asked by Sue Bird on the Bird's Eye View with Sue Bird on what makes the three of Mitchell, Clark, and Boston work, Mitchell answered, "I think the best part about it is that our pace. We are aligned on pace, and that is a big part of the game. When it's bad, have a sense of pace still. When it's horrible, have a sense of pace. When it's great, keep the pace going." And Caitlin plays in a way that we don't have time to dwell. And I think I started to have a better shot efficiency because I started not thinking about it if I missed, because the way Caitlin was playing and the way AB wanted to play. Like, let's go. Clark is like the conductor of the crew, with Boston and Mitchell always on board. She knows when to push the pace or when to slow things down. However, it's the fast-paced run-and-gun style that this team was built on last year. They were the second fastest team in the league at 81.28 possessions per game. Kelsey Mitchell and Aliyah Boston had defined jobs and did not have to care much for the creative aspect, as Clark took care of everything. This season, though, with Clark's injuries, they couldn't continue with the same pace, as that number dropped to 79.76 possessions per 40 minutes. Both Mitchell and Boston had to adapt and take on multiple roles simultaneously. Yet, they succeeded enough despite the immense strain on the squad. So, imagine how much easier things will become when Clark comes back next season. They can finally play the way Stephanie White envisioned this team to when she was hired. Then from there, our individual games obviously, me being able to draw, being able to cut, and Caitlin see me her ability to be able to pass, be able to pass, which is underrated, and people don't talk about them. We just had different complements of each other that worked out," Mitchell concluded. Over the last 2 years, Mitchell has scored 102 buckets from Clark's assists, according to PBP stats, while scoring 109 from Boston's. Yes, Clark played only 13 games in 2025. It just shows how Boston has evolved into a hub, too. It also helps that Mitchell is an elite off-the-ball cutter, so Boston needed to find the right pass rather than Marshall Mitchell. They were already a pretty threatening trio last year, but after the advancements in Boston and Mitchell's game, they could surpass all expectations next year. If that was not enough to keep Mitchell in Indiana, just read what she said about Clark's behavior while injured. Kelsey Mitchell showers praise on Clark. "We know just how much Clark struggled in 2025, physically and mentally. In the first half, it was a stop-start season where she kept trying to make a comeback, but injuries didn't let her. Then, after the right groin injury, we knew it was a long-term injury and couldn't quite figure out whether a return would be possible. The ankle sprain was the final straw for her hopes of contributing. All through this, Clark remained a source of inspiration for her team. The one thing I love about Caitlin, too, is that we all love basketball the same way," Mitchell said. "When she did play compared to when she didn't play, her passion remained the same. And I respected that from her, because it could have easily not been that way. She gave us her best when she was in the locker room," Mitchell added. "You talk about a kid in a candy store, that's Caitlin. In a good way. She's a live light. Her personality shows in her game, and it's dope for her." Clark's commitment ran deeper than just her game. It was both personal and professional. Mitchell further highlighted how, despite the massive spotlight on her name, Clark never sought to be the center of attention, choosing instead to elevate the team around her. She kept the program, Mitchell said. She didn't let her passion waver. She ended up pouring in more than she thought. Having Clark on the bench and giving her best was essential in the Fever's run into the playoffs. Their spirit was one of the things they rode on, and Clark elevated it to another level.